everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the final one for the 2025 Halloween series, and it's going to be a bonus video. I wanted to pull some inspiration from the first ever Halloween video I made for my channel, and it's this skull flower earrings inspired by a picture I saw on Instagram, and so I thought I would turn it into a custom bear. So this is the bear that I will be using today, and it's just this green bear with like a clover, and this is the concept art I created, and I just did it just so I could see what it looked like, even though I was taking inspiration from something that I already made. Typically, I start the customization process by cutting off the bear's face, and this just allows me a blank area where I can put my own custom face on, and I just use a pair of scissors. To make everything neat and organized, I use some thread and I stitch the hole shut. And I actually found some thread that exactly matched the color of the bear perfectly, and so I just sew around it and then I sew it closed. Then comes the fun part of creating the face. Now for this, I just used some white polymer clay, and then I used a circle cookie cutter. And to make it look like a skull, I extended out like the circle part where it's like I drew it so it looks like a jaw, sorta. And then I just cut it out with my blade. To make those two pieces conjoined as one, I just used my finger and I blended it out. Now I'm just going to create the extra face details, so I'm using my needle tool and I'm going to be indenting like the mouth part. So I did one long line across and then I did two lines going vertically. And then I just used these giant ball tools to shape the nose and the eye sockets. At this point, my clay got a bit dirty, so I used some rubbing alcohol and I just went over the clay with a cotton bud. After the rubbing alcohol dried a bit on the clay, I went back in with some chalk pastels and I shaded the indents. I also realized that it is very difficult to shade larger projects, at least shading white clay, because the chalk pastels kept going everywhere, and when I tried to clean it, it kept smudging and it looked really bad. And after it baked, there were like these weird like splotches of the chalk pastels, and I tried like using acetone on it and it was not working, and so I ended up having to paint around the chalk pastel stuff with some white paint so all of the blemishes would disappear. The final polymer clay details I made were these gold stars, and I just used some gold clay and then a small star mold that I made a long time ago. So this is what it looks like after the paint job, and I also added some additional chalk pastels on the edges. Next, to seal everything in and to add some extra detail, I glazed the whole faceplate with some glitter glaze. For the rest of the details on the bear, I like to use felt just because it keeps the bear lightweight and not too bulky. The first thing that I'm making is the flower part that is going to go around their neck, and I'm just using this yellow felt. And then I go in with some darker yellow thread and I just stitch some extra details so it looks more put together. This is what it looks like with all of the stitched details, and I also created 2 leaves with some similar stitching patterns as well, and then I also cut out some felt to go inside of the ears. Now it's time to assemble all of the details onto the bear, and for this I'm just using some hot glue. I have not figured out any other better glue out there to use. I'm sure it exists, I just haven't figured it out. Just for me, hot glue is easily accessible, so that's what I'm going to use. So this is what the final bear looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!